Federalist Paper 15, Part 2. Again, it's going to talk about the insufficiency of the present Confederation to preserve the Union. The first Constitution of America was the Articles of Confederation. So they were living under a weak Confederation. And starting with Federalist Paper 15, Hamilton and later on Madison will talk about the weaknesses of this Confederacy and other confederacies in general over the course of history. Okay, I am going to start with the paragraph. We may need with propriety be said to have reached almost the last stage of national humiliation. There is scarcely anything that can wound the pride or degrade the character of an independent nation which we do not experience. Are there engagements to the performance of which we are held by every tie respectable among men? These are the subjects of constant and unblushing violation. Do we owe debts to foreigners and to our own citizens, contracted in a time of imminent peril, for the preservation of our political existence? These remain without any proper or satisfactory provision for their discharge. Have we valuable territories and important posts in the possession of foreign power which, by express stipulations, ought long since to have been surrendered? These are still retained to the prejudice of our interests, not less than of our rights. Are we in a condition to resent or repel the aggression? We have neither the troops, nor treasury, nor government. Are we even in a condition to remonstrate with dignity? The just imputations on our own faith in respect to the same treaty ought first to be removed. Are we entitled by nature and compact to a free participation in the navigation of Mississippi? Spain excludes us from it. Is public credit an indispensable resource in time of public danger? We seem to have abandoned its causes as desperate and irretrievable. Is commerce of importance to national wealth? Ours is at the lowest point of declension. Is respectability in the eyes of foreign powers a safeguard against foreign encroachments? The imbecility of our government even forbids them to treat with us. Our ambassadors abroad are the mere pageants of mimic sovereignty. Is a violent and unnatural decrease in the value of land a symptom of national distress? The price of improved land in most parts of the country is much lower than can be accounted for by the quantity of wasteland at market, and can be fully explained by that want of private and public confidence which are so alarmingly prevalent among all ranks and which have a direct tendency to depreciate property of every kind. Is private credit the friend and patron of industry? That most useful kind which relates to borrowing and lending is reduced within the narrowest limits, and this still more from an opinion of insecurity than from a scarcity of money. To to shorten an enumeration of particulars which can afford neither pleasure nor instruction, it may in general be demanded, what indication is there of national disorder, poverty, and insignificance that could befall a community so peculiarly blessed with natural advantages as we are, which does not form a part of the dark catalog of our public misfortunes. Okay, let's focus on this paragraph. Remember, just a little while ago, he said to shorten an enumeration of particulars which can afford neither pleasure nor instruction. Remember, I have already mentioned to you what enumeration means. He says, I have numbered, I have told you in this paragraph the number of things that are showing our weaknesses, the things that really make us weak and look like a republic, a confederation that cannot be respected by other powers. He says we are being humiliated. Okay? He talks about the debts to foreigners as well as the debts to the people of the United States. Because to carry that war, they had to borrow a lot of money from France and other places, also from their own countrymen. And he says, we've got bad credit, and this is a bad sign for us. If we don't have credit, we cannot bring enough money into our treasury to start big projects to improve the country. Again, he brings up the Mississippi River, which Spain, who was controlling this area, was saying, no, the right to navigation, the right to have ships here in Mississippi belongs to us. You Americans have no right to it. So he's saying if we lose this right, nobody can move to these blue areas, which are the territories, and create new states. We're being made fun of. He says, Britain has forts over here that they are not leaving us alone by putting soldiers there because they say you have not lived up to the terms of 1783 peace treaty. You have not paid back our debts. So we are not going to leave these forts. And what they would do is would incite the Native Americans to attack the settlers that were living around here. So he's going through all of these one by one. He says, this is a joke. You cannot call this confederacy a union. It is insufficient. So he talks about, that's why he brought up the word insufficiency of the present confederation. And he says, I can go on and on. And it is just going to bring us shame. Everybody knows about it. And I can't go on and tell you about all the defects, all the shortcomings of the confederacy we live under. So we will continue in the next video.